A very merry Unbirthday to you. To you. A very merry Unbirthday to you. To you. Now blow the candles out, my friend, and make your dreams come true.
Welcome to Chorus Voices, the podcast brought to you by Chorus, a fresh approach to community service. Settle in, listen in, and enjoy the voices who bring you reflections, musings, and stories from our community.
That was Lex reciting one of Lex's favourite books, Alice in Wonderland. I love Alice in Wonderland myself, and one of my favourite quotes is imagining 6 impossible things before breakfast. I'm Louise Forster. Welcome to Chorus Voices. This episode is going to be a bit of a journey about Lex.
It is, and hello, Louise, and hello to the listeners. Dan Minchin here, CEO of Chorus. Very interested and kind of moved by today's story of Lex. And the story is really brought to you by one of our colleagues, Judith, who has been involved before. Hello, Judith.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Louise.
Nice to have you here today, but really nice to listen to some of the audio of the story you've uncovered. Tell us a little bit about the story of Lex.
When I met Lex said to me, Lex likes to make people smile. Lex certainly made me smile in this interview, and listen on, you'll hear why. All right, so I'm here with Lex.
Hello.
So Lex, I believe you dropped out of school when you were in year 10.
Yep.
Can you tell me why you did that?
It was a bit of a combination of different stresses. The main reason I ended up dropping out on that day was because of a couple of bullies just stressing me out right before the first class of that first day, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I literally refused to enter the classroom. And that was also the first time I'd ever actually went to the counsellor or was sent to the counsellor for that school.
And do you want to talk about what the issues were or why you were upset?
Well, the main issues were my appearance that some people made fun of for the bullies at that school. The other problems were more ones from home, and those had more to do with the woman that gave birth to me.
I hear sometimes it's difficult for you to leave the house. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sometimes I get a bit overly paranoid or overly anxious when I leave the house. The idea of being surrounded by people makes me feel so claustrophobic, feeling so many people around me, from their body heat to their breathing to just feeling like I'm being watched, and just the thought of them touching me freaks me out.
That must be really hard to manage that. How do you manage that?
Well, the only times I leave the house is when I'm with someone I'm very close to or that I trust. And I usually have Demon in my bag, or if I don't have Demon in my bag, I usually have, well, not usually, but always have my headphones with me at all times.
So what's Demon in your bag? That's this little creature here?
Yes.
So we've got how would you describe Demon?
Well, Demon's a 4-tailed fox plushie from Naruto. Naruto's an anime.
Yep.
It's my favourite, and I've had him for years.
And he helps you?
Yeah, to the point that his ears are no longer standing. They're now sand.
Yeah. So you find it difficult to be around people at times, yeah. So when you are around people, how does that make you feel?
Very, very stressed and uncomfortable.
And how do you manage that next?
Well, like I said, I usually have my headphones to block everything out with music. And usually people I'm with know to let me hold on to them when I'm starting to kind of blank out in stress. It's also to stop me from starting to scratch myself. And also they usually lead me off to a more quiet area so I can sit down and just take a breather.
So is that when you're in with a group of people, or is that if you're just going out walking? Or
if I'm with people that I'm close to, otherwise I don't normally leave the house by myself.
Right.
I find it a bit too stressful.
Yeah. So if you're going to go to the shops or something like that, you always have someone with you?
I go with my dad.
So you like to be referred to as Lex.
Lexi.
Is that something you'd like to talk about?
I think it's because, well, actually I don't mind either name, because either one can be referred to as a male or female.
Yeah.
So I just find it easier to allow people to call me Lex, because sometimes Alexis can be a bit of a mouthful.
Right. And you prefer not to be referred to as female or male, is that?
I'm non-binary.
Yeah.
I don't really feel or notice my gender.
Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Well, because this can be different for many people. In my opinion, I don't really care nor notice my gender. I don't feel it. I just feel, as this is a running joke in my family, I'm a plant. Because it's a running joke that if I could, I'd asexually reproduce.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. What sort of plant do you think you'd identify with?
Ooh, that would be interesting. I haven't thought of that.
Something to think about.
It is. Since there are so many amazing different types of plants in the world.
There are.
And many different ones do different things and have many different defences to protect themselves.
I also hear you like Alice in Wonderland.
I do, yeah.
Why do you like Alice in Wonderland?
Well, one of them is because it's the imagination, the world of this person. She's entering into this wonderful world where everything is not as it seems.
Do you relate to that, do you?
Sort of, but it's also because I love that mindset that everything can be nonsense and nothing can be as it is, because everything is what it isn't. Because just the thought of that just makes me happy. I also love how the creatures and the like in it.
Do you have a favourite?
The Cheshire Cat and the Mad Hatter.
The Cheshire Cat and the Mad Hatter. Do you like the Tea Party, the Mad Hatter's Tea Party?
I do. I like quoting things at random.
Yeah. Have you got another passage you like?
There was also the one where the Queen says, "Off with her head!"
Yes, off with her head.
I can be louder, but I'm trying to be mindful.
No, that's all good. Because that's how she says it.
She says it a lot louder with a bit of a screech.
Yeah.
So we have come to know Lex through the mental health recovery programs that we run, and some listeners will recall hearing from Anne-Marie, who works in that service before. Anne-Marie's been working with Lex for some years now, and Judith also had a chat with Anne-Marie.
So Anne-Marie started by catching up in Lex's home, as initially Lex didn't want to leave the house. A good day would be if Lex came out of Lex's bedroom.
Initially, I would bring things here to the home and started that rapport building and relationship building. And that's how I discovered Lex's creative side. And I actually, through Ability Arts, I brought pottery to the house for Lex and organised that I could bring the clay and the tools, and started doing that here with Lex. And then discovered Lexi loved Alice in Wonderland, so they had a bit of an Alice in Wonderland theme, and Mad Hatter's Party took photos there, so then I was taking photos and things of some of the things they were doing at the Ability Arts, and then started working on supporting Lexi to leave the house. And through that relationship building, Lexi was really quite keen to try the groups, and then was doing the upcycling, which Lex was really keen to participate in. So that's when we started that goal setting of getting Lexi from home to our premises in Mandurah. So we started little steps at first. So it was getting from the house into the car. And then we started going just around here, didn't we? We'd go to the park. And then we did and we'd just work on getting out the house. And then we did a planner, and we did a journey planner. So I showed Lexi how far it was from here to Mandurah and the route. And we just did it in small steps. So initially we'd just go up to the roundabout and back, and then till one day we actually made it all the way down to Mandurah. And Lexi did a visit at the premises and had a look around. And the first step was upcycling group. Finally got Lexi to the group, and Lex just loved the upcycling group, and that was the first big step. And getting Lex involved in that group, I think, was a big stepping stone, because that's when you really, I feel, started to come out of your shell. And yeah, so it wasn't a straight road, but despite any bumps in the road, Lex just kept showing this determination, this big resilience, and just kept getting up and going back. And so you didn't let things get you down.
So you've been part of the personal helpers and mentors. So how has that helped you with your recovery?
It's helped me to open up a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, I would not have accepted this or been out here to speak with you.
Mm-hmm.
I would have locked myself away in my bedroom. It's also allowed me to meet a lot of people, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because even though sometimes I get uncomfortable, it allows me that opportunity to just try.
Yeah.
Even if my mental state goes down.
And what do? You go along and you're part of is it the Animaniacs group? I hear you came up with that name.
Yeah. It was. I even tried to make a little logo.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Although I don't think I ever passed it on. I kept it to myself.
You love art, don't you?
I do.
I saw your PowerPoint when I came in. I saw a lot of drawings there, and you telling me about you love colouring and drawing, and so do you think art has helped you?
It has a lot, because it allows me to put my brain onto paper, I guess, my emotions and the like that I can't put into words, even though what I draw kind of might not be referred to as strictly pretty, as the traditional pretty.
Yeah, and what sort of things do you like doing? Because I did hear on the grapevine that you have been involved in wearable arts in Mandarin.
I love creating and designing clothing. It's a lot of fun.
And you want to be a fashion designer, is that right?
I do.
So how are you? You're working towards that now?
I am. I'm currently finishing off my adult general education 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that I will be able to enter into the fashion design course.
Oh, fantastic.
I just need to finish English and computer projects.
I do hear you've passed maths.
I am happy.
And that was a big deal for you to pass maths.
It is, because maths is not my forte. It is not my... I don't know how to explain, but it doesn't always click.
Different side of the brain.
Yes.
To your art, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. It complains a lot with that side.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. That's amazing to pass maths. It must have been quite a challenge. And you've got a lot of determination, I think, haven't you, to overcome your obstacles.
I want to try my best for my family.
Yeah.
So they don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah. And you say it's difficult being around people, but then I've also heard that now you can be a social butterfly.
Yes.
In some of the...
as long as it's a small group and not an overly large group, then I need to find something to preoccupy my mind. Otherwise I will go into a bit of a panicked, anxious twitching.
Yeah, so it's the familiarity of the group that helps you.
Yep.
Yeah.
It has made me a lot more comfortable to be outgoing.
Yeah. I mean, you've never met me before, but we seem to be getting on pretty good, I think, don't we? Yeah. So that's
It also helps I'm in my own home.
Judith, when I was listening to that interview you did with Lex, I was struck by how much you could feel the relationship that you and Lex had built up in obviously a short space of time. It's just so powerful. What was that experience like for you?
It was a great experience, Lou. When I arrived, Lex looked anxious, and it was a big deal to someone come down with a microphone and start talking to you. And over the afternoon, we were there a couple of hours. Lex she blossomed, really. In the end, we were getting out books, looking at all Lex's artwork, amazing artwork, goes back for years, like a visual diary for Lex. And yeah, I think we became friends really, and it was just it was great to see how creative, determined, positive Lex can be with the right support, and that was a takeaway for me.
And there's just so many threads to this life, and the role that art has played for Lex in their recovery and getting through the day, the week, the month, the year. Really struck me, and like you just said, you got to see a fair bit of the art in the books and the visual diary.
I did. There was one piece that was a skateboard, going back to the Alice in Wonderland theme, and it was painted white and the white rabbit was on it, and it had a tally of days that Lex was counting, and that was a really powerful piece of artwork. But it also ties together how creative Lex is and how art is something that's helping with the journey of getting on with Lex's life, and also just emotional kind of outlet for Lex. This one's got like one eye, a really good couple of claws there.
He's my ogre.
Ogre?
Yeah, he's a friendly giant. His eye has this, I'm not quite sure what it's called, but it's where the pupil is split. Mm-hmm. It's quite pretty.
It is pretty, yeah. Looks like his mouth's kind of sewn up and he can't...
It's more like shrunken in.
Shrunken in. Mm-hmm.
As you can see his ribs as well.
Yeah.
He hasn't eaten in a while.
Hasn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't want to hurt anyone.
Oh, okay.
See the tears?
Yeah. So why is he sad?
Because he knows he needs to eat, but he doesn't want to eat anyone, because his diet consists of, meat.
Right.
And he can't eat vegetation because it doesn't sit well with his body.
That's a hard thing for him.
Yeah. But he's a very sweet person.
Mm.
So he needs to find a substitute food pretty soon before he goes on a rampage.
So why did you draw this ogre with those problems?
I don't know. I think it's because he wanted to be born. He was one of the many in my head. Mm. He wanted a physical form. Mm. And I also think at the time I was upset about a few things because I couldn't be myself, because I thought being myself would be harmful to others. Mm. And so I tend to hurt myself when I get frustrated instead of hurting other people. Yeah.
So do you think this drawing here was sort of part of those feelings that you had, that you didn't want to hurt? So, but like the ogre's withdrawing because he doesn't want to hurt other people. Yeah.
Another technique to keep yourself calm is going through your 5 senses. Like, find 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can hear, 3 things that you smell, 2 things that you taste, and 1 thing that you feel.
Okay, and when do you sort of put that into action? When do you do that?
When you're starting to panic, it's a form of distraction, and also to bring you back to a stable ground. You can mix up what you like you can do 5 things that you smell, 4 things that you hear, 3, 2, 1, following through that. Because it's a form of stabilising.
Mm. And do you do that often, do you?
Sometimes. Mostly I do it in my own head instead of saying it out loud. Because I usually have my headphones in, so I can't really hear myself, and it makes me feel better if I do a countdown in my head.
That's a really good strategy, isn't it? Yeah. And what else, from coming to chorus, what else has sort of helped you about being involved in the chorus programs?
Another thing that it's helped me with is, I've gone to meet so many interesting people and learned so many things from their own experiences. So it's like meeting people that have gone through something similar but vastly different, and how they've done it, how they've coped, and how they found ways to get around these kind of things over, round, through. Although I don't think you can go through your problems because that would be sticky. Sometimes I feel like I'm quite happy and I'm full of energy, but then sometimes I end up feeling quite low.
Yeah.
I call it a backslide in my mental and emotional state.
Yeah.
That does sometimes happen. I don't really like those times.
No.
But my family gives me space and allows me to just sit there, read, listen to my music, and just allow me to chill without adding ice. So.
You're pretty funny, Lexi. Got a sense of humour, and I love a sense of humour.
I like seeing people smile.
We stand in awe of Lex every day, just seeing what you've achieved and how far you've come, and we're just, each and every one of us are just so proud of how far Lex has come and how far you're still going to go. And I know you've shared me, like the wedding dress you've designed for your friend, and I, hand on heart, openly believe that one day you're going to make that wedding dress for your friend, and all of your dreams, I believe that you will achieve every single dream that you want to, because I've seen this person that couldn't even walk through that door, getting out and doing all these things you never thought you could do.
I kept walking after every storm left rocks and tree debris in the path.
Well, thank you. Thank you both to Lex, Anne-Marie. Very inspiring story. And you're just a joy, Lex. I've so loved coming here and talking to you, sharing your art with you, and it's been wonderful.
So fantastic to hear this story about Lex, and really to understand how important it is to be flexible, and for every person we support to have an individual plan with their mental health recovery journey. Judith, what was experience like for you, doing this? I know it's really moved you quite significantly.
It has. I actually saw Lex transform a little over the time we were together, and saw this amazing potential there, that Lex was so determined, and that was so inspiring when Lex has so many challenges to deal with every day. And Lex was funny, creative and brave, and I really admire that, and it really touched me to see that. And I can't wait to see Lex's designs in the shop. I think that they will be there down the track.
That's just amazing. And look, thank you again, Judith, and of course to Lex for building this story and going out and doing what Chorus Voices is all about, and gathering the conversations, the thoughts and the stories from around our amazing organisation. And, we can all aspire to be funny, creative and brave. It sounds like a pretty good recipe for a pretty good life. So look, that's been Chorus Voices for this episode. Thank you, Judith and Lou.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Chorus Voices, the podcast brought to you by Chorus. If you like our show and wanted to know more, check out our website at chorus.org.au. And please leave a review. We'd love to hear your feedback, and it helps others find us and enjoy the podcast as well. Join us next time for more inspiring stories and news from our community. Chorus, a fresh approach to community service.